Welcome back to Copper Star Precision, the channel dedicated to getting you more points at your competitive shooting matches. Today we're putting a scope on our budget Ruger Precision Rimfire rifle build, and I've decided to go with Discovery Optics. So if you don't know, Discovery Optics is a scope manufacturer based out of China, and basically what I think offers probably the greatest value for what you get. This will be more of an unboxing videos. I actually have moved this scope onto my CZ MTR base class rifle, which I'll go into more depth, but I will post a link down below to the most recent match that I used that scope on my CZ with great success. So I'll put a screenshot of what the thumbnail for the video looks like, and the actual video link will be either in the description or in the cards up here. But yeah, I mean, it has all the features you want, and it doesn't break the bank. Now, is it the best thing out there? Obviously not for the price point. It is heavy. It has a tight eye box. But this will be the unboxing video, and there'll be more in-depth reviews on the optical properties of that glass. But like I said, I've been using it in matches, and getting your head around a scope that has 2/10 mil hatch marks, dialable turrets, it's a great entry into the sport, and it's going to have a lot of transferable skills if you decide to up your glass quality in the future. Of course, we're doing it on a budget, so we're sticking with budget scopes. There are a couple other options out there. There is the Match Pro, sort of the original one, which has been discontinued and is very difficult to find. Right on the Conquer 3 is another scope that I have used. Again, 2/10 mil hatch marks, a little bit less affordable than this scope, but you can find deals out there on Optics Planet and all that kind of stuff. So, in the realm of let's call it $500 scopes, we don't have a lot of options. They're few and far between, but I think this one has quite a bit of features that would set you up well for this sport if you can get over the weight, which might cause balance issues with your rifle, and if you can get over that tight eye box, which just really means you have to set up your rifle for you in terms of length of pull and the cheek riser height. With the Ruger Precision Rimfire rifle, it's easy to do because it's all toolless, the buttstock, completely adjustable, so you should be able to get into the right position every time to get that good position behind the scope, so you don't see scope shadow, any of that kind of stuff. The eye box is tight though, so you really have to be on your game when it comes to fundamentals. But if you go from this scope to a scope with a lot of eye relief, you're building better habits of getting in the same position every time with a tight eye box scope. And then when you go to something that has better glass, better eye relief, you're just going to be that much more impressed when you go to those scopes. So just a quick unboxing video here. Again, match footage shows you kind of what I see when I look at the scope. That quality isn't the same as what I see because of the trigger cam doesn't pick up exactly what I see, but I've been using it with great success. And so let's see what you get in the box. Our rifle needs a scope, and I don't think there is a more economical solution than some of the offerings from Discovery Optics. So let's do a quick unboxing. I'll have more reviews about this scope in the future, but let's see what you get for your money. Now, these scopes are extremely affordable, and they come in with all kinds of features. So it looks like we have some literature, quality control card. We got all the specs of the rifle here. I'll put a picture of this up. Some cleaning cloths. Looks like we have a pen, sort of a lens cleaning pen. Looks like we have a tool here, probably for adjusting the zero. This scope comes with scope caps, which is a huge plus. It comes with scope rings. So there are two different versions of these rings. These are their 6061 aluminum rings. Looks like these come in a height of 1.26 inches, but they also make 7075 aluminum rings. I got these on a little bit higher height, and we'll see what the differences are between these two sets of rings. But you do get a pair of rings with the rifle, or with the scope, I should say. What else do we have in here? A scope leveling kit. So this is another thing that you can use to level your scope if you don't want to use a bubble level, spirit level, or any other method. I think still the best method is going to be, getting your rifle perfectly level, setting a plumb bob out at distance, and then aligning your reticle with gravity. But this is going to get you really close right off the bat, and this is something you can carry forward to other scopes in the future. So that's nice that you have it. And we have the scope itself, and this thing is an absolute beast. What is nice is it comes with a sunshade, so you have all the accessories you need. And yeah, this thing is huge and very heavy, which is probably one of its only drawbacks, how heavy this rifle scope is. But look at these, I mean, super tactile turrets, huge turrets too. I mean, my goodness. Let's take a look at this compared to the Bushnell Match Pro. Now this is a 30mm tube, this is 34, but just look at the size difference in the turrets. I mean, it's just absolutely monster turrets, which is great, you know, if you are in a location and you use gloves when you shoot or anything like that. You know, having these big knurled turrets is ridiculous, but I mean, just the sheer size difference in the turrets, parallax adjustment knobs, and everything is just mind-blowing. But as you can see, the numbers are very big, very visible. Obviously windage and elevation adjustment. And we have parallax marked down to 25 yards. Very smooth, buttery smooth. We have illumination here with different levels off in between. We have this little tiny scope cap, which can be replaced by the other scope cap that they give you. We have the fast focus eyepiece, which is stiff, which is good. You don't want this moving on you. It doesn't have a locking feature, but at this price point you wouldn't expect it. It does come with an included throw lever as well. So you have all the features of a scope. Now, is the optical quality there? We're going to have to stick around for the review. But it's a 5-25, first focal plane, has a reticle with 2/10 hash marks. They have those scope caps that go almost level, which is nice. They don't lock in that level position, but they do almost sit flat. So for someone who uses scope caps, it's kind of silly when they're sticking up like this and you can't look over the top of the scope to find your target. But my goodness, this is like a really chunky boy. So we're going to put this on the rifle, and yeah, I mean, as far as like value for money goes, depending on the optical quality, which I haven't made a determination on yet, but this is like, it comes with everything. Caps, throw lever, sunshade. Here's your zeroing tool. Looks like it's a pretty easy zeroing process. Which looks like one big screw there. It does look like the windage turret has little tiny set screws in there, so changing the windage zero may not be as easy as the elevation zero. And very tactile, crisp turrets, easy to see. And I think the only thing, you know, against it is probably the weight. And again, we'll have to see what the optics look like. But got two different sets of rings, which we can just discuss kind of the differences real quick. It's very nice rings. Looks like they're machined. There's a little bit of, looks like grease on there, so we'll have to take some brake cleaner or something, clean those up. But they're nicely machined. These are the 6061 aluminum ones. These are their standard rings. They are actually indexed. So if you see on there, they are serialized and matched, so you always know which direction that they go. They have a torque sequence, so you see 1, 2, 3, 4, your typical cross pattern, and in nice, easy to read letters and numbers, you see 25 inch-pounds for the Picatinny clamp torque and 20 inch-pounds on the screws itself. So everything looks good there. Let's look at the, I think they're called their Pro Series rings. 7071 aluminum, a little stronger. And yeah, these look just a little bit better from first glance. And what I have noticed, if I take these screws out, all the same features as the other ones in terms of being matched pairs. All the torque specs and values are printed on the rings itself, which is handy. But these have a locating pin. So one of the differences is that there's a locating pin, so you know you're going straight on when it comes to that. So that's a really nice feature there. And yeah, looks like there's a little bit of residue on here, which we're going to have to clean up, but not too big a deal. And yeah, really excited to try these out. So I'm going to get these mounted to the Ruger Precision Rimfire. And I think now that we have the rifle put back together with all its modifications, we have our bipod mounted, and now we just need a scope, and we need to zero it, do some lot testing, and I think we're good to go. So let me get this on the rifle. YouTube doesn't like it when you show mounting scopes to rifles, but we'll get this mounted up. I'm going to go with the Pro rings. I'll put links down in the description for this scope. There'll also be a code down there to use on their website, which can save you some money. They usually go on sale. Amazon usually has great prices on them. And yeah, definitely make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Stick around for the review of this. We'll go in depth. And until you see you next time, as always, score more points.